Moving forward with the car accident, we're back here at Missy's new car now. It's a 97 Ford Crown Victoria. It's not a new car, but it's definitely a car. That part's really cool. I think when they left the dealership after paying for everything, all the taxes and all the extra imaginary fees that you get when you buy a car, they ended up paying like $3,800. And it is a 21-year-old car, so a lot of people be off put by that. But if y'all come here and take a look at it with me, look, even the shocks that hold up the hood, they still work. It's a 4.6 liter V8. And I'll show you guys some of the things that I went over when I met them up there at the little dealership. Gave them the okay to spend their money on it. I started out underneath the car, but we'll come up here under the hood. See, come over here at the coolant. I looked in there and looked at that, and you can see, well, you probably can't see, but I can tell you the antifreeze in there. It smells like old antifreeze, so that means they didn't just flush it and change it to cover something up. And I can smell in there, and there's no oil, so that's a really good sign. They said that this car was owned by a 90-year-old woman who passed away a year ago, and it's been sitting for a year. So I know if there's any brand new fluids in it, that's probably not a good sign, and there wasn't. Everything in here seems like it's definitely sat for over a year. I also came over here and checked the oil in the car. And if I wipe it off, it's at the appropriate level, and the oil doesn't look all new, but it also doesn't look real bad. Like, I can tell it's probably been changed regularly. Even has washer fluid in it. The very next thing I went to is the transmission fluid, and when I pulled it out and looked at it, it's the same story. It didn't look like brand new fluid. It smelled like it's been in there for a long time, and it still has the red color, and it doesn't smell burned. Come over here and get you guys a look at it. See, it looks like it's not brand new fresh red, like it's been in there a long time, but it doesn't look dark. When it starts looking dark, that means things have been slipping and people have been on the throttle. It doesn't look like somebody went and power washed everything. You see all the dust in the leaves everywhere. We'll be cleaning all that up today. But it's a good sign to see that nobody ran across it with a power washer, so if anything was leaking, hey, supposed to clip. So if anything was leaking, when they power washed it, it would hide that. But you see, we have all our dust. And when we look around, I'll get you guys under it here in a second. But when we look around, we don't see oil all over everything. I don't know how well you can look down in there. Another thing is there's a real low amount of rust. You may be able to see down there, the AC compressor looks like it was changed not long ago. The old lady kept the AC flowing. The first thing I did when I came to look at this car with them is got underneath it. And you'll see that it looks really pretty under here for a 21-year-old car. Doesn't it, Muffin? Even the exhaust system has minimal rust on it. And it looks like you could even still use the fasteners in the 21-year-old exhaust system. That's impressive. I don't know a lot about Ford Crown Victorias yet, but we're going to learn a whole bunch about them together. See, even the exhaust joints aren't all rusted to pieces. It looks like this car hasn't seen very much off the pavement. See, they had this big plastic shield here under the radiator and the front end of the car, and there's not even scratches dug into it. Mechanically, it looks like this thing was driven pretty easily, and it sat a whole lot of its life. Supposedly, it's only got like 70,000 miles on it. It definitely was under a cover, a carport. You see the front end of the car has a little bit of the headlights faded, and the paint on the bumper is a little faded, and the rest of the car kind of looks brand new. So this thing was always parked under a carport. There's not many 21-year-old cars that the original paint looks like that on the roof. Trust me, we know. Take you guys inside of it. It doesn't look like they even had to run a vacuum in it, because you see there is a little dirt everywhere. But that old lady took good care of this car. She kept it clean, because it looks like it probably hasn't been cleaned in a long time, but it really ain't dirty. But today we're going to get it cleaned all the way up. Fancy power things. The trunk is even clean. It's got all this fancy carpet stuff in it. And a full-size spare tire. See, there's a tire under there. You could... It's definitely a big body car, but you can't argue for the price. Because this thing looks like it's seen very little wear and tear and has a lot of life left in it. Come in here and look at the interior. I'm going to clean it, but I don't know if it's going to get a whole lot cleaner. All I got to do is get the dust off of it. There is some room for activities in this car. Even these parts of the car, the old whatever this is that sits right out in the sun, 21 years old, and this stuff isn't quite falling apart yet. Oh, you even got a place for your passengers to put their butts. We won't have to use that. That's about it for the little tour. So now we'll go ahead and get it all cleaned up and pretty and move forward from there. Ready to go for a ride, Muffin?